Yeah.
Hello.
So good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Redis Lab, for having us here. We are very delighted to be here with you all. So my name is Ashish Jadhav. I head enterprise technology development for Reliance Jio. So most of you must be knowing what is Reliance Jio. It is world's second largest telecom company and India first largest. And he is my colleague.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Neeraj Sood. I work as a technical architect at Reliance Jio.
Right. So we have been implementing Redis on multiple technology use cases, but for today's session, we identified partner analytics as one of our use case to demonstrate you. So what we do on this partner analytics platform, okay, so Reliance Jio is having 4 millions of channel partners. So who are channel partners? Channel partners who does primary, secondary and tertiary sales for you. Okay. So this application is a mobile-based application. This application is used by our sales and distribution teams, our Jio centers and Jio Point. For what purpose? So to collaborate with the channel partner communities, to develop the channel partner community and to ensure they are increasing the tertiary sales. Also, this partner analytics platform is used for reporting analytics and predictive analytics. So we do a lot of AI, ML kind of stuff on this data. So this application receives daily 40 millions of record with a size of 4 to 5 petabytes. Okay, so this application is deployed on huge big data analytics. There are a lot of Hadoop cluster, and we do a lot of streaming using Apache. So the Apache Spark. So there are a lot of tools, and how Redis is best fitted use case in this application, which is what we are going to demonstrate. So what we report part of analytics to entire sales and distribution and the channel partner community, we report the lead management. Lead management is something onboarding, because our business is very dynamic, right? So any panwala or any vegetable vendor can also be one of our retailer. Okay, and some of the retailer can be a recharge retailer. Okay, where you go and he can recharge for you. Okay, so the very small time vendor. So always the customer experience is on very high priority. Okay, whenever he is recharging and he wants to know what is the commission he is going to get, okay, for that day. So the response expected is less than a millisecond. Okay. So again, we do bid planning. So we are having a lot of channel partner communities. So we do a lot of planning and scheduling on a field operations. Okay. So we record entire activities. Also, we do a lot of issue management. Issue management is something all our retailers and distributors are using point of sales devices. Okay. So there may be a lot of system related issues or device related issues or any business related issues. Okay. Some of the issues are very on high critical priority which need to be addressed on ASAP basis. So we do a lot of analytics on issue management, and also all next following slide I'm going to talk about the performance dashboard, how we do enrich the channel partner analytics using AI ML kind of algorithm and Redis as an in-memory database. And also we do a lot of communication, because since we are B2C business, so we need to send a lot of transactional and promotional kind of messages, right? And also we do a lot of campaigns. Okay, and also we launch a lot of dynamic schemes. So this communication also, how, like we are using Redis to send the communication, that also we'll speak about. And collaboration, task management, because task management is something we have a lot of field operations sales people. So, okay, so daily they have been allocated certain tasks to develop the channel partner communities. So some of the cards are very, like high important tasks. Okay, maybe it's the Diwali season and we are launching some of the schemes. So the tasks could be, like there could be some sales related tasks. Okay, and also the learning management system. Since, we launch a lot of different schemes, so every time the distributor and channel partner community need to qualify themselves. Okay, so they need to know everything about the devices, the specification, the schemes, and the telecommunication domain. Okay, so there are certain qualification criteria they need to undergo to qualify to be a channel partner community. Okay. And this is something, these are the sample screenshot. Okay, due to confidentiality, we cannot put the real one. But this is how, the channel partner community dashboard has been deployed and viewed. So I'll tell you more. Okay, so the sales and distribution team, at any point of the day, they can know how many are the active distributor. What are the active distributor community? The distributor who have actually logged into their point of sales devices. Okay, for doing any kind of transaction related to Jio plan and services. Okay, so any given point of time, you can know across the pan India, among the 4 million channel partner community, how many are the active distributors. Okay, and the hierarchy is zonal distributor, regional distributor, retailers. Okay, who does primary, secondary, and tertiary of sales for us. And under that active distributors, okay, so what sales and distribution community need? They need to track and monitor the sale performance achieved by the channel partner community. So anytime they can go and they can see, okay, the sales number achieved for Jio-related plans and services. So we do more kind of analysis. We are having different trends. We do a trend for a day. We do a trend for a week, for a month. We do trend on different schemes. Okay. So also in this app, we can track how many is the entire inventory and stock management for all the 4 millions of customer. And it's very lightweight mobile application. Okay, though the backend is a big data analytics, but it is a very lightweight mobile application. So, and also there is some kind of AI ML kind of algorithm. Okay, they need to take action. Maybe the retailer was very active last week, but for this current week, he is not active. He is not doing any business. So based on the historical data, we do certain algorithms, okay, to develop the channel partner communities. And also, okay, so this is something retailers. So the zonal distributors will have millions of retailers under them. Okay, like I said, any pan wala or any vegetable vendor can also be the retailer. So we track the performance up to the tertiary sale, what retailer is doing sales to the customers. Okay. If you see different kind of recharges, okay, what recharges he is doing, connectivity, and also onboarding, what was the activation turnaround time. Okay, so we are monitoring at a granular level. Okay. And also, if you see, this application is also used by all the channel partner community for what? Because the people, the person who does sales on your behalf, they get excited and motivated when you are providing them good commissions, right? And also the sales and distribution, they set certain targets. Okay, so here they can go and they can see what are the actuals against the target. Okay, what sales they have done for Jio-related products or non-Jio-related products, and what kind of commission they are going to receive. Okay, and the sales and distribution teams also know if they are not receiving any type of schemes or commissions, so they can take proactive measures. Okay, so these all are sample screens related to performance. So now what Neeraj is going to explain you, this was a business presentation slide. Okay, so now Neeraj is technical architecture on my team. So he has designed the solution architecture for this entire big data analytics and Redis as an in-memory database. So what we do, we use Redis as an in-memory database for caching, and we store the summary level count. Okay, and most frequently use numbers. Okay, and also what we store issue management reel, task management, and the rest of the dashboard matrix, which we have seen in the previous slides. And also we use Redis as a message bus, where we do a lot of pub/sub kind of things, because on a downstream system, what is a downstream system? Downstream system is a point of sales. Okay, the devices used by the channel partner community. So we send a lot of transactional and promotional messages, and also we send a lot of campaign related things. Okay, or maybe something that if they are not achieving any target. So those kind of very, very important attribute we store on Redis database. So how we are doing technically, okay, and what we have achieved pre and post Redis, my colleague Neeraj Sood will explain you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashish, for giving us an insight into what the partner analytics platform is all about. So before I even start into what partner analytics and give an overview of what the architecture is, why we chose Redis, and maybe what kind of KPIs we achieved, and what is the the caching strategy we used. So I'll just take you back 4 years back almost when we started this particular platform. So management came to us, given insight we need to give a distributor platform to these distributors, which was somewhere around 15K distributors were there. So we were very excited. So we said, yo, it's just 15K distributor, we can just follow up with some very straightforward architecture. And we all started to planning about this, and we launched this particular platform. But 6 months later, we got a shocker. We need to extend this platform to 2 million users. So maybe, after immediately when we got this, we have to go back to the drawing board. We have to re-architect everything. And we were very sure, apart from, implementing the complete platform itself, we need to have some, caching platform as well in the complete architecture. And that is where, if you just see, we started with 15K, and then we have to scale up to 2 million users. So we evaluated many other platforms, apart from Redis, Memcached, and everything. Why we chose Redis? I'll just show you on the other slides. Just I move on to next slide. So as you can make out, this is the complete end-to-end architecture, where on the left hand you can see the complete. It's basically a completely responsive, which can be seen on for the distributors available on their desktop and laptop. And for the end retailers, it can be seen on their respective mobiles. And in the next, you can see, it's a completely authentication and authorization layer. We do all the authentication of all the employees. They use the same platform. And all our even partners, you use the same platform. We authenticate this platform, and all the authorization is being done using this platform itself. Maybe on the next hand side, you can see, there's a complete all the distributors and retailers, whatever the sales are happening. Because initially, the distributors were the person on whom we were relying. They were doing the complete onboarding of all the retailers. So, they have to drive all the sales with respect to the primary sales, secondary sales, and maybe the, the tertiary sales and the sellouts. So just imagine, so this kind of data, we want to show it to them. And the type of data we used to get, as Ashish has already rightly pointed out, we used to get 40 million data every day. And in order to handle this sort of data and show this amount of data to all the retailers, and trust me, apart from Reliance Jio was one of the premier companies who used to provide near real-time data to all our distributors and retailers. There was no other telecom operator who were doing in that point in time. So just maybe on the right-hand side, which is very critical for us, we were gathering all the data. You can just make out, it was from the HANA systems, PRM system, GIS system, the wallet system, the incentives and commission system, SAP system. So these are the point of source of data, where we get all the data from this system, and we used to, and they are through one of the ETLs and BPM platform, they are pushing all the data in on our partner analytics platform. And there are many other, some flat file structure from where we were using all the NIFIs and all stuff. And apart from that, we are collating all the, application and this logs, and we are showing in the ELK platform, where we are used to see from all the monitoring perspective how things are working out. So maybe next. So this is one of the typical architecture where simple like, my end users, which uses from the, the load balancers. At the web tier, we have some 2 nodes, and maybe at the application layer, we have 9 nodes. Why we have chosen the 9 nodes? Because in the next slide, I can show you, we have implemented the CDN architecture. So why we choose the CDN architecture? Again, it goes back to the same thing. We have to like, handle somewhere around, 2 million users. As I am talking to you, it has gone up to 4 million users in the span of like, 2 years. So in order to handle this sort of users, we need to distribute this user into various zones. So how we have distributed, and that I can show you in the next slide. So apart from the, the application tier, you can just check out the caching layer. So in the caching layer, we use the very typical sort of the Redis, where, we have 1 masters and 2 slaves sort of thing. And my persistent layer is in completely Oracle cluster. So we are using, as Ashish has rightly pointed out, we are using Redis as a caching itself. Still, we have not explored Redis as a persistent or data layer. So we are really excited to use that. We are already started some POC on that. So most probably, when the next year session, we can definitely show to you, how we are using Redis as a data layer as well. So this is very the CDN network, how, all my basically West users are handled in Mumbai itself, how we have distributed the North and East users through Jamnagar. All my South users are handled from the Bangalore's, servers and the clouds we have. Like, we have our own cloud. We are not using any AWS as on today or, GCP. We have Geo has our own cloud. So we are using those cloud, and we have the completely DR in the Nagpur itself. So this is how we have distributed, basically, like, all these users will be distributed accordingly in these 3 zones, basically. So now it comes to, like, why we chose Redis. So if you can see, the first important thing was, in order to handle such a huge data, we definitely need to have some, caching platform. So that's very straightforward. Out of this thing, we need to accelerate some, the response time. We need to handle somewhere around, 5 million to 4 million our partners. Apart from the business users we have. So, I'll just come to the KPIs. I'll just show you the KPIs as well, like, where we show you, what kind of, performance we enhanced actually. So we always wanted to have a high throughput of thing, and we wanted to, reduce all the, hits on the database also. So we wanted, like, all the JVM, all the application has to be because we always had an advantage where, like, that we had a lag of, like, 15 to 1 hour sort of lag, where, like, we present all this data to our end retailers. So as, we have already said, we are using, so maybe, like, the PubSub sort of thing, where, like, we published a lot of activation and recharge schemes. There are many schemes we are publishing on the maybe daily basis, on the weekly basis, and some are on the monthly basis. So definitely it makes completely, no-brainer for anybody to use as a, Redis is, again, we have been used this as a cache layer. And all of the alerts and notifications. So you have to send a lot of notification and to all our partners, basically. It all depends, maybe, like, there are some, maybe some festivals are there on the north side, south side. So you have to keep on sending some or the other notification, maybe some promotional things need to be sent to all our partners. So that was the reasons, many of the reasons why we chose Redis. Apart from, Redis was, like, when we were evaluating and we were comparing with many of the other platforms. So when we were comparing, we found, like, why Redis is, like, it is very simple to install. It's very simple to use. Many of our, since many of our developers are from the Java background, but, it was a no-brainer for all the developers to adopt this, because the type of data structures which Redis provides, sets, lists, sorted sets, so which come as a, like, maybe you can just, anybody who has done basics of Java can straightway go ahead and adapt this Redis as well. So there is nothing new as such. And there are many other features which is provided by Redis, which is, like, we can use them. So this is the Redis architecture we are using. So this is the typical architecture we are using in all our 3 zones, basically. And you can just make out like, we are the kind of configuration we have is somewhere around, it's a physical server of 192 GB RAM. So as on today, these are the things. And one of the, takeaways for adapting Redis was, the Sentinel processes and this master-slave sort of concept they have introduced actually. So these sort of things was not available in any other caching platform. So where like, most of the Sentinel process and how, this master goes down, how, the quorums can be decided, and on the basis of that quorums, any of the slaves can become a master. So this is very typical sort of Redis architecture, which made us to adapt, Redis rather going ahead with some other caching platform. So what are the caching strategy we used? So definitely the caching strategy is, definitely Redis one. And as on today, so this the architecture which we showed to you. We are using as a global global cache platform. Where as on today we are connecting somewhere around 4 to 5 application. We are connecting and making use of all the databases. As you all are aware, like Redis out of box it provides like 16 databases. So maybe for each and every module, you can go and connect to all the multiple databases and makes the maximum use of it actually. So that was the, and we are using as a lazy loading because most of the data which we are receiving is from the other external sources. So what the best strategy was, when we get all the data, you please write on the database. And once it's been written on the database, and when you call that particular application, from the application, when you start hitting this thing, and it's available in the cache, you take up from the cache, or maybe like, if you require, and you need to go back to the database and again write it to your cache, basically. So definitely, so this was the, most of the basic things which we used actually. So another beautiful things which we have started using it, and the Redis Insight. This is a few of the screenshots where you can just see how many clients, the total keys, so how many connections, and what is the like you can just see what is the role of this particular. There's a master, 2 slaves, and how the replication strategy we have been using that. And so this is the completely screenshot which gives you all these details out there. So this is the production screenshot which we have taken. So this is another, like, you can do a lot of analysis, get into like, how your Redis servers are behaving. It all gives you all the deep insight into that. So it's like, these are the few KPIs, like, the partners which we handle as on today. And the partner data, which is like, we are just maintaining almost like 3 months data where like, 850 million transactions are happening. So even before we implemented Redis, so all the response time was, average response time was somewhere around 3 to 4 seconds. And after we implemented Redis, it came down to 8 to 9 milliseconds. That's an average response time I'm talking. And you can check out, the what kind of improvement we achieved actually. So I think these are the things which we have to present from our side. If anything is done, if you have any questions, me and Ashish can answer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time
and
attention.